So you want to make your own Rubik's Cube mod, but you're not yet sure how to start and what tools you might need. In this video, I'll give you 5 tips on how you can make your own sticker mod without any special tools by going through the process of creating this puzzle from start to finish. Let's get started. I usually begin my sticker mod projects by designing it digitally. I use Figma because it's a free design tool and it stores my creations online, so it's a very convenient platform for me. Tip number 1, you can find a lot of free design software that can help you get started on your designs. I highly recommend Figma if you want a browser-based tool, but you can also use Inkscape if you want something that works offline. Aside from those two, there are a lot of other tools you can use, and even something as simple as Microsoft Paint can be used for this project. I also made non-digital sticker mods, and you can learn more about them in this video that you can check out later. A bit of background about this design. This is based on an impossible shape that I found on the Impossible World site, which lists a lot of these Escher-like optical illusions. This specific design was created by Vlad Alexiv, who allowed us to use this for a puzzle. He's a pretty cool guy, so check out his Impossible World site in the description below. Now that the design is done, next up is printing. Tip number 2, you don't need a special printer for sticker mods. I'm using an HP DeskJet 1510 printer, which is just an old home printer, but it works well for my needs. So if you already have a home printer, try and experiment with the settings to see if it can produce good sticker prints for you. By the way, if you want to skip the design part and just get to printing, there are free printable versions of my designs over on the Custom Cuber Discord server. Link is in the description and we'd love to have you there. Tip number 3. Your design doesn't have to be colorful. Rubik's Cubes are known for being multicolored because for most twisty puzzles, you really need the colors for the solutions. But that's not really a requirement. I've made some black and white puzzles, both printed and drawn on, and they look pretty neat. Of course, you can also use a plain colored base cube under the black and white stickers if you want that kind of aesthetic. The design doesn't even have to be specifically black and white. You can also use 2 or 3 colors. Experiment on what you think looks great, and don't be limited by the idea of having different colors on each face or having to use just one color per face. Our next step is cutting the prints. I cut each sticker for my puzzles manually, and as long as I follow the lines properly, the end result looks good. Now, I've been receiving comments about getting a cutting machine to make my process more efficient, and I agree with that. So I'm saving up for a machine so that I can work on more advanced projects. But I still think it's not absolutely necessary for creating a sticker mod. Tip number 4, you can manually cut your stickers. Any plain pair of scissors would do, but if you can find one, I also recommend getting non-stick scissors. These ones can cut through adhesive repeatedly without getting gummy eventually. I've had this one that I'm using for a few years now, and I don't really remember the specific brand, especially since I just got it from our local bookstore, but there are a lot of brands offering scissors like this. So I'm using a yellow base cube for this, which I made by forming plain colored cubes from 6 stickerless puzzles. But tip number 5 is that you can use just a regular black cube. For other projects, I just unstickered black cubes to replace them with my own stickers, and I even used dollar store cubes that don't even turn well for some of my older designs. So don't be limited by what cubes you can use for your project. I actually even recommend using the simplest cubes for your first few projects, just until you get used to the process of making your sticker mods. And now we have our final puzzle. I love the contrast between the grays and the yellows, and I hope I was able to give Vlad's design some justice in this puzzle. If you had fun watching this build or if you got any value from the tips, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons to let YouTube know that you enjoyed the video. It helps YouTube suggest better content for you, and of course it also helps me get my videos out to viewers who are just like you. I'll be solving this cube in another video, but in the meantime, if you want to see more puzzles, check out this video on your screen right now.